A lot of people come to myself and my team after they've just gotten a diagnosis for either clinical depression or generalized anxiety disorder or some sort of serious emotional challenge. And their basic question is, now what, right? I just got this diagnosis, now what do I do? And this question seems to come out of a sense of simply reevaluating what you feel like your life is going to look like now. And what I want to help you understand is that after you've gotten a medical diagnosis, you need to be very careful about what this does or what it is likely to do in terms of how you view yourself. And you need to be very careful here, because very often this is the very moment when people's ability to create a natural and sustainable recovery becomes diminished or eliminated, not because they have actually validated that their situation is so severe that it's not going to be able to be changed, but simply because they now have gotten a medical diagnosis that has changed how they look at themselves and look at their problem. What they were previously looking at as an isolated emotional or psychological challenge that could have been dealt with and handled, they now have assimilated as a part of their identity. Okay, so in other words, it is a very different thing to be looking to deal with some anxiety versus dealing with the fact that you are a manic depressive. Okay, right? When you adopt an identity that comes with a diagnosis, you are now defining your problem in relatively unsolvable terms. And now you're creating a situation where your deepest belief system does not believe change could really happen, even though it still could for you. So that's the first most important thing you have to do when you get a diagnosis. So make sure you understand that a diagnosis does not mean that you are permanently shackled to what you're dealing with right now, or at least that you don't have to be. Don't fall into that trap, because very often people just say, oh, well, I guess anxiety or depression is now something I have, and they just put it on like a badge, and you don't want to do that, okay? What we want to do is figure out how do you actually get that out of your life, because you can make that happen. So that's the first and most important thing. So if this resonates with you, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts below. But please make sure that you do not mistake the past for the future. You do not mistake what you are currently going through at the moment for what you are potentially capable of doing and feeling and experiencing in the future.